Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. We are back for the Carabao Cup match, which is very interesting actually because Calvin Phillips is starting. Just like to have a view on Calvin Phillips, is Mr. Challenge over there, and Manuel Akanji does well. Let us look at the City lineup over there. Akanji and Ake are starting as centre backs. I probably would put Ake on the left and maybe have Manuel Akanji, Josko Guardiola starting in the centre. I don't know why, but I don't quite prefer Nathan Ake in the centre back position. I don't know. Sumant is here. Hey Sumant, how are you doing? Good evening, Sumant. Good evening. I think it's good night. I think it's good night, Sumant. No, it's good morning actually. It's good morning. But yeah, if you want to actually watch the Carabao Cup match, it's available on fan code. I think it's for Indian viewers. It's available on fan code and it costs around 25 rupees. I've just taken a pass. It costs around 25 rupees and yeah. Suman says, where is the match streaming in India? It's fan code, Suman, fancode.com, or you can download the fan code app. I think it's 25 rupees. It costs 25 rupees to get access to the match. Because I've searched other streaming services and most of them are actually shitty with a lot of ads and stuff. Jack Grealish is here. Jack Grealish. I don't know what kind of a cross that is, but it's actually interesting, Sumant. What do you think about the lineup? What are your views on the lineup and Calvin Phillips? I'm actually intrigued by Calvin Phillips starting, if I'll be honest, because I thought Matthews Nunes would actually start in the center, or maybe Kovacic would start in the DM position, and I thought Nunes and Foden would play in the midfield. But Pep has gone with Calvin Phillips, Sergio Gomez, and Kovacic. It's a new midfield, so that's interesting. What are your views on it? This Newcastle side is also strong up front. They have Isaac, they have Joe Linton, they have Murphy, which are really good front three. But other than that, I think they have also rotated heavily in defense and in midfield. And another interesting thing, actually, I've just seen check the scores of Girona FC, and Girona FC won again today. And guess what? Manchester City are at the top of the Premier League, and after 7 matches, Girona FC are top of La Liga. This is interesting, and I think Mumbai City FC will also be top of the ISL. So it's interesting how the clubs in the City group are progressing this season. Julian Alvarez, that's a foul on Julian Alvarez. The match is actually being cancelled out in the midfield. That's a rash tackle by Calvin Phillips there. I think it's a very rash tackle by Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is looking a bit shaky. I'll be really honest with you guys. Calvin Phillips is looking so much shaky in these first 7 minutes. So it's a free kick for Newcastle, but in a useless position, I must say. I think apart from Calvin Phillips, Rico Lewis has been bright. Akanji has been bright as always in the challenges and stuff. So the match has been being cancelled out actually in the midfield. To be fair, it's not going either way, and both the midfields are inexperienced. That's what makes this match interesting. I think with Tonali and maybe Newcastle's midfield is more experienced than City's midfield. I mean, Kovacic is there at City. I'm sorry. So I think it's probably even the midfield battle as well. So it will be interesting to see. I mean, Oscar Bob is another player who we can keep an eye on. Pep has told about Oscar Bob that he's a dynamic player with a lot of courage. And Pep rarely uses the word courage with players. seen Pep use the word courage with Julian Alvarez, and then he's used it with Riyad Mahrez, and now he's using it with Oscar Bob. So I do think Oscar Bob will be a mainstay in the right wing position for us. Maybe he could move across midfield, but he will, I think, be a mainstay in the right wing position, to be fair. It's interesting, Oscar Bob is drifting into the midfield, and Rico Lewis has done well there, and Julian Alvarez gets the ball. Julian Alvarez gets the ball. He keeps hold of the ball. Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis is inverting there. Kovacic, Calvin Phillips. I would want Calvin Phillips to be a bit more proactive, but I can understand this is a big opportunity for Calvin Phillips. It's, I would say, now or never. Jack Grealish with the ball here. Grealish also has a challenge on his hands with Jeremy Doku coming in. Interesting, he's not starting today, Jeremy Doku, because was substituted halfway for his match because of the red card and stuff, not his mistake. So it's interesting. Jeremy Doku has not started this match. Oscar Bob, and that's a foul on Oscar Bob. Sergio Gomez, Oscar Bob has overlapped. That's a good ball in from Sergio Gomez to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob sends it back to Sergio Gomez. It's Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis to Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips to Sergio Gomez. Sergio Gomez caught on the ball there, but I think City have good cover back. That's not a worry. That's not a worry. Well, that's very well defended there. That's extremely well defended from Josko Guardiola, I'll tell you. Alexander Isak was trying to twist him outside and inside, and that's extremely well defended by Josko Guardiola. But then again, that's the thing, Sergio Gomez giving the ball away in midfield, and we have Calvin Phillips who's capable of doing that, who I do not think can play in tight spaces. I do not think Sergio Gomez can play in tight spaces. So it's actually interesting the build up of this midfield. I know it's experimental, but I thought at least a Phil Foden could be there, and we'll put Calvin Phillips in, but he might have experimented a bit too much with this midfield actually. Alexander Isak, look at that, he's just twisting, turning, and Josko Guardiola, wonderful from Josko Guardiola, 1v1 defending. I think we have the best set of defenders in terms of 1v1 defending in world football, I would say. Again, useless, but this time from Kovacic. Our midfield is making mistakes. Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, that's a great switch. Sergio Gomez is now on the right wing, left footer on the right wing. The idea was right. It's just that the cross just had a bit more curve on it. The idea was right from Sergio Gomez. Again, that's the thing. Sergio Gomez looks more comfortable on the wings, be it left or right, than in the midfield. I maybe thought seeing the lineup, probably he will put Jack Grealish in the midfield and Sergio Gomez on the left wing. Especially seeing the fantastic Euro under 21 competition that Sergio Gomez has had, but our defense is good. One thing is our defense is very experienced, except from Rico Lewis. The others are all world-class defenders, so that is an advantage for us. Akanji, Ake, Guardiola, world-class defenders, could say. So I think Pep has balanced it in that way of picking a world-class defense and then compromising on the midfield a bit. Calvin Phillips does extremely well there, but City just don't get the ball. It's been that kind of a season for Calvin Phillips. It's been that kind of time at City for Calvin Phillips. Do not know when his time will turn, to be honest. Josko Guardiola, Kenji. Sergio Gomez, Rico Lewis, Manuel Akanji. There's a diagonal out there, Akanji. There's a diagonal to be hit to Jack Grealish as Josko Gvardiol has found it, and Jack Grealish does well to get to it. I just think Akanji didn't see the diagonal, or else he should have hit the diagonal early on. Jack Grealish was holding the width perfectly there. Newcastle are just sitting back and looking to hit on the break. Will be an interesting season for Newcastle. Oscar Bob does extremely well there. He probably expected a return pass from Sergio Gomez. That's a good ball out. Good switch out. Jack Grealish, Sergio Gomez. Jack Grealish is 1v1. Jack Grealish is 1v1. Jeremy Doku would have just loved this contest being 1v1 with the Newcastle defenders. Calvin, there's a diagonal out there. I don't know why he's gone for the shot there. There's a diagonal out there for Calvin Phillips. Nathan Ake. Jack Grealish. Nathan Ake. Sergio Gomez. Sorry, it's Calvin Phillips. Rico Lewis. I probably think you put Rico Lewis in the midfield more than anything else. The ball almost reached Julian Alvarez there. City are doing well here. City are doing well. Calvin Phillips has done well there. Manuel Akanji. Josko Gvardiol. Josko, there's a diagonal out to the right. There's a diagonal out to the right. Josko Gvardiol. Nathan Ake. Josko Gvardiol. Josko hit the diagonal. There's a diagonal out wide. I don't know why they're not hitting that diagonal out wide. It's interesting. Nathan Ake. Sergio Gomez. Back to Josko Gvardiol. City are looking for the appropriate moment to attack here. The ball's gone out. Gautam is here. Hey Gautam, how are you doing, mate? What are your thoughts on the lineup? Suman says thoughts about Sergio Gomez and right wing. Sumant, I would have loved Sergio Gomez to play on either wings, left or right wing. I think right wing would be perfect. But right now, I think is playing in the midfield. I know he's finding himself on the right wing with Oscar Bob. They're exchanging positions, but I would actually have preferred Sergio Gomez to be starting in the right wing position for most of the match. He's not doing well in the midfield positions. He's doing well when he's going right, because I think Sergio Gomez 1v1 is very good. His dribbling skills are good. But I do not think Sergio Gomez in tight spaces is as good as even a Rico Lewis, for example. Rico Lewis gives it away. Oh my god. Josko Gvardiol, right place, right time. Sergio Gomez. So Sergio Gomez is doing well whenever he's finding himself in the wing position like this, like this. Look at that now. It's Kovacic actually who's in the wing position. Give and go with Jack Grealish. But Sergio Gomez found himself on the right wing position once or twice and did well. The cross was also good. So Gautam says would have liked Doku at right wing. Doku would be killing it at right wing. Gautam, I don't know why Pep has not started him. I just don't know. Probably keeping the week ahead in view, probably Wolves, a Champions League match. I think it's away to Leipzig, I think. And then we have Arsenal at the Emirates. So I think keeping view of those three matches, I think Pep decided to manage the workload of Doku. Rico Lewis is playing so confidently. I think for me, Sumant, coming to your point, I think Sergio Gomez either plays at left wing in this team or he doesn't play at all. I think Sergio Gomez. I mean, I do not know. Maybe after this position, I'll change my views on him, but I just think he either plays at left wing or he doesn't play at all. I think in this team. Rico, Oscar Bob there, Oscar Bob, Julian Alvarez. Ah, JSK says Jack Grealish disaster class is back. Hey JSK, good to see you back here, mate, again. Jack Grealish. That's why a lot of people are telling why is Doku actually not playing. Jack Grealish disaster class. But this was a good attack. I probably think Oscar Bob should have. I think Oscar Bob should have actually gone for it. Or Julian Alvarez, should have finished it into the top corner. I think maybe Oscar Bob, if he has a bit more experience, should would have gone for goal there. But what do you guys think about Oscar Bob and his performance till now? I think Oscar Bob has been the best player on the pitch till now for me, apart from Josko Guardiola, of course. Oscar Bob, I think, has been really good in terms of his movements, in terms of his driving runs, in terms of his work rate. Rico Lewis, Sergio Gomez is now on the right wing. Oscar Bob, Mateo Kovacic. It's interesting. The position swapping is interesting between Gomez and Oscar Bob. I think it's almost like, if Kyle Walker was there, Kyle Walker would play on the right wing and at right back. He would own that entire area. But I do not think it's possible for Rico Lewis to do that, at least till now at this point of time in his career. So that's why I think Pep is putting Sergio Gomez on the right wing. And I mean, that's why he's exchanging Gomez with Oscar Bob in those right wing and midfield positions. Akanji does well, Kovacic, Rico Lewis, City are patiently building up. Manuel Akanji back to Stefan Ortega. And JSK, by the way, your favorite Stefan Ortega is back as well. After quite a bit of time. That's a good run. That's a very good run, but JSK says Guardiola and Doku signing of the season. You've forgotten another player, JSK, for signing of the season. Matthews Nunes. I think this season the signings have been interesting, Josko Guardiola, Jeremy Doku, Matthews Nunes, Mateo Kovacic. Generally, you see players signing for City under Pep have taken a season to acclimatize. Of course, Haaland is an exception. He'll always be an exception. But even Haaland has struggled to adapt initially, right? It took Haaland 6 to 7 months. But these four players have it actually seemed like they've been playing at City forever. So that's very interesting for me, the way City have signed. And if City would have got Lucas Paqueta as well, I think he would have fit in straight away to the team. That's a great ball from Stefan Ortega. Fantastic ball from Stefan Ortega there. It's just, if Doku would have been there, he would have reached it. Suman says, maybe in next match we must use Kovacic and Rico Lewis as CDM rather than Callan Phillips. I think Matthews Nunes is a perfect CDM. He has played as a CDM at Sporting Lisbon. Matthews Nunes dominated a midfield of Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, and I think it was Phil Foden that day. No, not Phil Foden. It was someone else that day. It was Gundogan. Matthews Nunes dominated this midfield against Sporting Lisbon 3 years back when Sporting Lisbon played against City. Pep Guardiola called him. He's one of the best players at that time, midfield players at that time. So Matthews Nunes could play as a central midfield role for me. I would put Kovacic, Matthews Nunes, and Foden. That's a great ball. Almost. JSK says hopefully Jamal Musiala next year to replace KDB. I'll come on to that, JSK. I'll come on to that. I have two choices on that. Tarun is here. He says, which platform is the match streaming on? Tarun, I'm watching the match on fancode.com. It took me 25 rupees for the subscription. So, yeah, I paid the 25 rupees and I'm watching it on fancode.com. No annoying ads and all. So, what a ball from Mateo Kovacic. Jack Grealish, that's a foul. The referee says Paul Damet got the ball. So it's fancode.com, Tarun. 25 rupees is the subscription cost. Again, I'm not sponsoring the platform or something. So, yeah. JSK says Matthews Nunes was the first choice replacement for Fernandinho before we went to buy Phillips. That's true, JSK. That's true. And JSK, coming back to your question, hopefully Jamal Musiala next year to replace KDB. My choice is JSK are two. I mean, first thing I'll ask all of you guys, the question is, have you seen Anfield getting up and applaud Lucas Paqueta? Liverpool won the match 3-1 at Anfield against West Ham last weekend, and Lucas Paqueta was the best player on the pitch. The Anfield crowd got up and applauded Lucas Paqueta. So you can understand how much what a player Lucas Paqueta is. And since now he's playing in those attacking positions, I think more people in the Premier League will. Oscar Bob with the ball, Oscar Bob, Oscar Bob, Oscar Bob with the ball. Oscar Bob does extremely well. Kovacic switches to Jack Grealish. Nathan Ake on the overlap. He gives it to Nathan Ake. Nathan back to Kovacic. Kovacic. Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips back to Kovacic. Or Oscar Bob. It's Rico Lewis actually. Kovacic switching it to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish to Kovacic. I think we need to switch it side to side. Newcastle are defending narrow. I mean, I don't know why we are not switching it side to side so fast. I don't know. Yasko Guardiol to Jack Grealish, and Jack Grealish is away. It's 1v1. Jack Grealish is not able to win his 1v1s. I don't know why. Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic to Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis continues playing on, and it's Sergio Gomez with space out wide. Sergio just whip across in. Calvin Phillips, I hope he doesn't try. It's almost a good ball from Calvin Phillips. City get the ball back from Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis has entered the penalty box and the ball's not gone out. JSK says go for Yalla shoot. It's totally free. Okay, then it's Yalla shoot. I didn't know that. Tarun says I feel they shouldn't have let Palmer go. Tarun, I actually think it's kind of interesting, but I think these are the options Pep Guardiola would have evaluated. Because I thought last season Cole Palmer was the obvious replacement for Riyad Mahrez, but because if you see the style he likes, he's most of the time he's that too much of a left-footed player. His shots are very good from range. His movement is very good. He has that Mahrez, Arjen Robben kind of a movement to cut inside. So I thought Cole Palmer would replace Mahrez last season. But I think it didn't go well for Palmer last season due to obvious reasons. City didn't have a good first half and things like that. And in the second half, we were in the finals of a lot of competitions, and Palmer didn't get his chance going for the treble and so on. But I think this season, I think Pep had two options before him, right? Oscar Bob and Cole Palmer. I think Pep evaluated both the options, and Pep thought Oscar Bob can play in three or four positions, whereas Cole Palmer is predominantly a right winger. Could come into the midfield, but is predominantly as one kind of a skill set cutting inside. So, and Oscar Bob has more pace than Cole Palmer. Oscar Bob's dribbling ability is better than Cole Palmer. Oscar Bob's work rate is better than Cole Palmer. I think the decision was between Palmer and Oscar Bob, and I think Pep has decided it's Oscar Bob over Palmer. Shot from Kovacic, and it's not gone well. JS says told you it's Jeremy Doku game. And by the way, guys, go to Yalla Shoot. It's totally free. I didn't know, so I was watching in fan code. But go to Yalla Shoot. It seems it's totally free if you want to watch the streaming of this match. JSK says told you it's Jeremy Doku's game. Jeremy Doku would have whipped the fullback left, right, and center. Sergio Oscar Bob was away. So Tarun, yeah, I think, and when 45 million pounds came in with that kind of thinking with Pep, I think it was just a matter of time before Cole Palmer went. JSK says Jack Grealish is good against counter-attacking teams like Liverpool, Real Madrid, Roma. I totally agree with you, JSK. Totally agree with you because Jack Grealish is good against teams which against whom the match can be gung ho, but you need control. You need control of the game. Those are the games when Jack Grealish can control the tempo of the game. By the way, I think Jeremy Doku controls the tempo of the game very well as well. You see, Jeremy Doku can in the last two matches, especially against Belgrade and this and Nottingham Forest, Doku also is not just pick the ball up and run. Doku is also he passes back, he passes to the midfielders, he links up play well, work rate is excellent. I don't think Jack Grealish's place is confirmed in the team. I think Doku is ahead of Jack Grealish at this point of time. JSK says, but I think Jeremy Doku will be nightmare for Trent. For Trent, Vinicius Junior, and everyone else. Trent, like Winnie lol. Ah, the shot was good. The shot was good. Julian Alvarez getting chances. 28 minutes gone. Julian Alvarez getting chances. But I actually think JSK. I'm actually interested to see Emirates. Many people think that City might struggle at the Emirates, but I actually think that Jeremy Doku on the left, who's the right winger, Ben White, put Jeremy Doku on the right, and Jeremy Doku versus Alexander Zinchenko. JSK, what do you think about this? Jeremy Doku versus Alexander Zinchenko. What do you think about this matchup? Jeremy Doku would be sorry, Zinchenko would be personally calling Pep Guardiola and telling, please do not start Jeremy Doku on the right wing. My Arsenal career might be over, Gaffer. My Arsenal career might be over, old Gaffer, please. That's what Zinchenko would be thinking. Great switch from Calvin Phillips to Nathan Ake. Fantastic switch from Calvin Phillips to Nathan Ake. The ball went out, that's fine, but the switch is excellent. And that is another obvious strength of Calvin Phillips. Interesting, the comments made by Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola was telling earlier on that yesterday was telling that you cannot compare Rodri to Calvin Phillips. Both of them are players with different qualities. And he was telling Calvin Phillips cannot play in tight spaces, but Calvin Phillips can switch the ball well. I think Calvin Phillips has a skill set similar to that of a Perlo. And I'm not telling here that he's a Perlo, but I'm telling the skill sets, the way he can put those through balls in and stuff actually. And for people thinking, why did we go for Calvin Phillips instead of someone like a Matthews Nunez back then, or we were linked with other CDMs as well, right? I actually think at that point of time, Pep was. I mean, if you guys remember, Jorginho was an example there. Jorginho was someone which Pep wanted and he went to Chelsea. And the skill sets of Jorginho and Calvin Phillips are similar. In a way, if Calvin Phillips is better defensively than Jorginho, he can hold a midfield on his own, which Jorginho can't. So I think one of the things about Jorginho is Jorginho was a pass master. He can close his eyes and find players running. And I think Pep thought Calvin Phillips is that kind of a player. And that is the skill set of Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is a pass master like a Jorginho. Jack Grealish gets to the ball first. It's been passive on the wings. The opportunities are out wide. Newcastle are defending narrow. Kovacic, Rico Lewis. Nathan Ake. I think the introduction of Jeremy Doku is just like even JSK was mentioning, and few of you guys are mentioning. I think the introduction of Jeremy Doku is just a formality right now in the second half. Grealish does extremely well, and it's a foul one by Newcastle. City are playing. City are just dominating Newcastle. It's. I just do not want this game to be like Leicester Belgrade game or something like that. But Josko Guardiola is staying back if you observe. JSK says he has been dog shit in City shit. I hope JSK your curses will be a good luck charm to players, and that has been the case in the past. Edison, and literally, my God, what have you done, JSK, to Edison? He's become a beast. Look at the save he made last time against Nottingham Forest last weekend. Jeremy Doku does extremely well and City get the ball back. Newcastle are defending narrow. I mean, this is a game for Jeremy Doku. I just do not see what this is, and it's a corner for City. I think it's the first corner. I hope Calvin Phillips takes the corner. I know, because who will take the corner now? Maybe Jack Grealish. But other than that, it's Sergio Gomez. Wow, I think Sergio Gomez is the best set piece taker we have, big corners of free kicks in the team right now. I mean, fit players. I know KDB is there, but he's not fit. I think Sergio Gomez is one of the best set piece takers around. Sergio Gomez with the kick, left footer in swinger. Ah, Sir Jasco Guardiola almost got onto it. I just thought for a moment that was in, but that was such a good set piece. I think the Newcastle player put it out, so I think Jasco Guardiola was just waiting. I would want Sergio Gomez to take it as well on the on our left hand side. JSK, it's your favorite player taking the free kick on our left hand side. Jack Grealish, it's been a dog shit corner. It's been a shitty corner by Jack Grealish. What a useless piece of corner by Jack Grealish. JSK says Jeremy Doku is answer of low block. I mean, they're scared JSK. You see Jeremy Doku, Erling Haaland, both of them play. Two people marking Jeremy Doku, two people marking Erling Haaland. That just frees up space for people like Alvarez, Foden, even Walker, Nunez in the last match against Forest. The possession stats of this match would be very, very interesting. It should at least be 70-30 in favor of Newcastle. Sorry, in favor of City. It's just a formality that Jeremy Doku comes on in the next match. Sorry, in the next half. It's just nothing more than a formality. Newcastle passing well through the midfield. Akanji is being aggressive. Kanji is being aggressive. And Tarun says, who will Pep sign to replace KDB? I'm sorry, Chess, when you asked the same question and a City attack came in the middle and I couldn't actually answer it. Tarun, the answer to that is there are two people which Pep can actually sign. Florian Wirtz and Lucas Paqueta are the two options. And both come. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I think 2 days or 3 days back at night. I was just thinking about it, walking on the terrace. But Florian Wirtz and Lucas Paqueta. I actually think. Look, I mean, the age difference is a thing. Florian Wirtz 21. He could be the long-term successor. Lucas Paqueta will be 27 next season. If you ask me who is close to the finished article, it's Lucas Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta is for me the perfect replacement of KDB. The physicality, the work rate, the way he can win the ball. He was, for example, in the top five in the Premier League in terms of winning ground duels last season. Lucas Paqueta for me is his vision is excellent. 2 seasons back, Lucas Paqueta was had the highest chances created when he was playing in the French league in the entire of Europe ahead of De Bruyne. I know it's just the French league, but Paqueta has all of those qualities. So Florian Wirtz and Lucas Paqueta are two people who Pep is looking at. I mean, personally, if you ask me, I think if the charges are cleared, Pep should go for Lucas Paqueta. JSK says Jamal Musiala. Hopefully, do not want those Bayern players. Do not want those Bayern players, JSK, because after 1 or 2 seasons, they'll again be telling, I want to go back to Bayern. Leroy Sané did the same. Just imagine Leroy Sané here right now, and just imagine Leroy Sané left wing and Jeremy Doku right wing. That would just be something else. So Lucas Paqueta and Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz is an Odegaard kind of a player. His vision and everything is excellent, but I do not think he gives you the defensive prowess of a Lucas Paqueta. And with Paqueta, I think you're getting 4-5 years. And until then, I think you can develop someone from the academy. If it's up to me, I'll buy Lucas Paqueta next season or in January if the charges are cleared. Tarun says, what about Goretzka? He's young and can play cam or central midfield or cam. I actually think Tarun buying Leon Goretzka will almost be like buying another Calvin Phillips. To be fair, his JSK has put it correctly. He'll be bang average. His bang average. He's just overrated a lot. He's just overrated a bit. Leon Goretzka, I think. There have been these players, coming in from Germany, which we have been linked to in the past. Julian Weigl was another player, if you guys remember, in Dortmund around that 2016-17 season when Julian Weigl was linked to City. When Pep came, everyone thought he would be the next Busquets. Leon Goretzka was linked to both Liverpool and City. I mean, I think Matthews Nunes is the perfect CM. I think Matthews Nunes, it's not about City bias, but I think Matthews Nunes is the next big thing in midfield. And Nathan Ake into the box. The pass was not good and it's a corner for City. I think Matthews Nunes is the next big thing in midfield. I mean, there was a quote from a Spanish journalist as well, and someone reputable in England as well. It was interesting. They said that Man United searched the entirety of last season for a Frankie de Jong, but they couldn't see the Frankie de Jong who was playing in the Premier League. They were referring to Matthews Nunes. And the article was furthermore saying that Matthews Nunes is an upgrade on Frankie de Jong. I know Barca fans will not like it, but Matthews Nunes for me is an upgrade on Frankie de Jong. I'll tell you why. Matthews Nunes has all of the physical qualities that are needed for a defensive midfielder, and his energy to run into the box, his vision you saw last season, everything is good. Probably his vision is a bit less than Frankie de Jong, but other than that, I think overall package, we have got the next Frankie de Jong to be fair. Well, in Matthews Nunes will be the signing of, it could be the signing of the next 2 3 years. He's gonna be so good. He's gonna be so good. Yeah, exactly. Bang average and inconsistent. If you guys have the names of any players in mind, do let me know in the comments who could replace KDB. Because for me, it's gonna be a toss up between Paqueta and Florian Wirtz. JSK says not everyone is Leroy Sané. That is true. But JSK, you know where it hurts? JSK, where it hurts is we bloody groomed Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané, when he came from Schalke to us, was almost like an academy player for us. He was so close to all the fans. We groomed Leroy Sané. We made him who he is. And in terms of a finished article, we groomed him. There are some great memories associated with the Leroy Sané, the Centurion season, Sané, Aguero, Sterling. Still, sometimes I think of it, I don't switch to the treble season or something. I switch to the Centurion season. Aguero, Leroy Sané, and Raheem Sterling. That trio was just something else. That trio was just fantastic. So and Etihad, January 2nd, 2019, when we were 7 points behind Liverpool in the points table, we had to win. If you guys remember, 1-1. Leroy Sané comes and scores the winner, and we win the title that season by 1 point. So Leroy Sané, lot of memories. I think Leroy Sané got his first goal against Man United, who are our title rivals. He's been sold down the river. He's been sold down the river. There, he's been. That's a great save. That's a great save there. That's a great save. That's a great save there from Stefan Ortega. What a save! I think it was Calvin Phillips. Who else? He just sold our defense down the river there. Calvin Phillips just sold our defense down the river. Great save from Stefan Ortega. Fantastic save from Stefan Ortega. The mistake was from Calvin Phillips, right? It's a corner for Newcastle. I'll just come to the Danny Olmo thing, JSK, after we get this set piece from Newcastle out. It's out. It's been quite a shitty corner, to be honest. JSK says Danny Olmo. Suman says, I know I'm being crazy here, but I rate Rico Lewis very high. Instead, I see him, he can be a replacement to KDB. KDB also. Okay, that's an interesting thing. That's a very interesting thing, Suman, because I think your comment is very relevant. Your comment is very relevant, and it's not crazy at all. If I go back to the midfield of City during the 2016-17, even up to the 2018 season, when David Silva was there in the midfield, Kevin De Bruyne was there, or you were also having sometimes Silva, Bernardo Silva playing in the midfield, those kind of thing. I think Rico Lewis would have been perfect for that. Rico Lewis would have been perfect in. Rico Lewis for me is close to a David Silva kind of a player. Loves to play in small spaces. Has that quick feet and stuff. But if you go how Pep has gone during the last 2 seasons, Pep has Pep has built in physicality into the midfield. You now look at this midfield. What do you remember? What's the first thing that comes to your mind if you look at this midfield? Rodri, KDB. I mean, when everyone is fit, Rodri, KDB, Phil Foden, for example. I mean, I know Phil Foden is not physical, but you see Rodri, KDB, you see the things there. It just cries about physicality. You see who Pep is trying to bring in. Pep is trying to bring in people like Lucas Paqueta into the midfield, people like Matheus Nunes into the midfield. That tells me that Pep wants to. Jude Bellingham was a player on Pep's mind, on City's mind, although that didn't work out. So, and his attitude wouldn't have fit the system anyway. But I think Pep is trying to build a physical midfield with who can also dribble in tight spaces and all. So I think that's why I think Rico Lewis does not fit the build of this midfield, to be honest. Otherwise, I think if it was still the 2018 season, I think Rico Lewis would have been to replace David Silva. To be fair, JSK says but JSK, honestly, Rico Lewis is not a right back. Right? He is a right back, but honestly, Rico Lewis plays in the midfield itself, right? Rico Lewis always inverts. There has never been a match when Rico Lewis doesn't invert. So I think you can honestly, I mean, I think you can say that Rico Lewis is a midfielder in essence, though his starting formation position would be different. So fair enough comment by Sumant, but I think it's just the physicality aspect that Pep is trying to build in this midfield. And you just look at City's team as a whole as well. He's just trying to make the City team bigger, stronger, faster. Right from Erling Haaland to Manuel Akanji playing it left back to buying of Josko Guardiola to play it left back. He's Jeremy Doku is physical. His body strength is good as well. So you can just see where City's team is going. That's a Calvin. You should have switched it out wide, Calvin. That was such a difficult ball to thread through. Someone says, yeah, around 4 to 5 years back, we had David Silva in camp. So KDB and Bernardo played some days as CDM. Last season, Rico Lewis is unbelievable because he has so much confidence in short space and good vision. Perfectly agree with you. Perfectly agree with you, Suman. I think the physicality aspect is the only thing why I do not see Rico Lewis play in the midfield. But again, you do not. Again, that brings a different question. That brings a different question. What is the kind of formation you're looking at with City? Because until last season, people are just thinking it's a 4-3-3 with Gundogan, okay, box to box, but Gundogan literally played in a cam position. But this season with Kovacic, I think Pep is going towards a 4-2-3-1 with Rodri and Kovacic literally holding. If you see their average positions, you see in many matches that Rodri and Kovacic are literally sitting back and holding. What a ball from us, Sergio Gomez. Oscar Bob just couldn't reach it. So I think this season the formation is a 4-2-3-1, and your comment is relevant, Sumant. If we expect Rico Lewis to fit into a Kovacic kind of a role, who can, what is the role of Kovacic? He is press resistant, take the ball from the defense, circulate possession, drive into the midfield, sometimes play through passes. I actually think Rico Lewis could be a Kovacic replacement. Meaning, I think looking at the way we go forward, I think it's in a 4-2-3-1 formation, and I think Rico Lewis could very well replace Kovacic as that box to box midfielder. Matheus Nunes could do that. Rico Lewis could do that. So I think that is where the position of Rico Lewis is. And I think gone are the days when we play with two central attacking midfielders. Though if teams sit back, I think the box to box midfielder in a 4-2-3-1 will attack. But I think essentially the formation is 4-2-3-1. JSK says, "Bro, don't hype too much. We are not Barca." But I think JSK, to be honest, I think Rico Lewis actually deserves all of the plaudits and all of the hype is actually getting, and it's not hype as well. It's just some certain good points regarding Rico Lewis. I think Rico Lewis deserves all of this. Rico Lewis deserves the plaudits is getting every one bit. I still remember Rico Lewis. Forget about the forget about the technical aspect of Rico Lewis. Last season we were struggling 0-0 at Stamford Bridge against a Chelsea team that were struggling to hit goals in. Against Graham Potter, we conceded 3 chances. It was 0-0. We were not able to open Chelsea up. I think it was in January. Cancelo was playing a shit game at right wing position, right back, right wing position. We were 8 points behind Arsenal at that point. The league was on the line. The league was almost set to go. Half time, Pep puts in Rico Lewis in the midfield. And Rico Lewis, he helps us win the match. He dominates the midfield. Pep literally removed Joao Cancelo and put Rico Lewis in the midfield. So that just tells you about the mentality of such a player. I mean, 18 years of age, there are very few players with that kind of a mentality. That one thing is literally enough. That mentality thing is enough. I think he's ready to start in City's midfield, to be honest, in the crowded midfield. If you personally ask me, I think he's being wasted in the right wing position, to be fair. Tarun says, do you think Brozovic could have been a better choice to replace Gundogan? It's an interesting thing, Tarun, again, because the thought process of everyone was, I had a few of my friends as well who were United fans and stuff who were actually telling, well, you bought after buying Kovacic. Well, you bought Kovacic, but how do you replace Gundogan? Where is the replacement of Gundogan? Gundogan won you the treble. He's been your treble winning captain. I do agree with all of that, but Pep doesn't work in that way. That's what is the thing. I mean, where is the replacement of David Silva? It's already been 4 5 years. We have no replacement of David Silva till now. Where is the replacement of where is the replacement of like for like replacement of someone like a Fernandinho? Rodri is a different kind of a replacement. There's no like for like is as there been a like for like replacement of Cancelo, like for like replacement of Leroy Sané, not been there. We're complete. So I think with Pep, it's like he doesn't look to replace players like for like, but he just tries to bring in new tactics and new systems so that the opponents don't adapt to his style of play. So I think when Kovacic came, I was like, Pep is going to change tactics this season. Kovacic came, Juan Malilo came. Juan Malilo is thought to be the godfather of 4-2-3-1, two pivots. I think so. I think we're not looking to replace Gundogan. Instead, we're just trying to play with the second midfielder as a pivot in a 4-2-3-1 with someone who can go into the box, but we're not trying to replace Gundogan here. Instead, what we are trying to do, we are trying to get in players who could play the through balls faster, who could penetrate defenses centrally. You look at where the majority of play of City has been this season. Foden's coming in. Alvarez playing centrally. Jeremy Doku is most of the times cutting in. Grealish, whenever he plays, he cuts in. So Kovacic has been brought into threat through balls. That's the strength of Kovacic centrally. So I think we, instead of replacing Gundogan's goals by him getting into the box, I think we have brought in a different kind of a player to replace that position, which is threat through balls. JSK says no, he's nearly 35, end of his career, perfect to earn money in Saudi Pro League. I actually think that Kovacic was a perfect, I don't want a replacement, but it's a perfect transition into a new system where Pep is looking to play Haaland and more. With Gundogan, you just cannot play Haaland and more, I think. KDB had to take ridiculous risks to play Haaland and more. Last season, Haaland got 38 goals in the Premier League and 50 odd goals in all competitions. How many goals in all of those 50 odd goals has Haaland scored from central positions, from ball being threaded centrally? I won't say it's even 10%. Most of the goals has been scored as back post, front post, ball coming in from the wings and all of those things. Pep wanted to increase the central threat to get more goals from Haaland. Tarun says he's 30 and Kovacic is 29. So that's the thing, Tarun. I think Kovacic, the strength of Kovacic is press resistant and he can play those through balls. Kovacic is, this is one of the more underrated skills of Kovacic, to be fair. I do not think Chelsea fans have ever looked at this. Kovacic is one of the best players in the Premier League in terms of breaking the lines. And you see the kind of players Pep has brought in. Josko Guardiola is one of the best defenders in the world in terms of breaking the lines. Mateo Kovacic is one of the best players in terms of breaking the lines. Lucas Paqueta I think, is in the top 5 in Europe in terms of breaking the lines. We tried to bring him in. So you look at the profile of players we have been linked to. He's one of the best in terms of breaking the lines centrally. So when you look at the kind of players we have been gone for, right from defense to attack, you can actually see Foden's playing in the midfield is one of the best in terms of receiving the ball on the half turn and putting the ball in centrally. So I think it signifies a change of approach for me from Pep Guardiola. JSK says sorry, but still Kovacic is a better choice. Tarun says CR7 or Messi. Messi for me to be fair. Messi for me to be fair. It doesn't. I don't watch La Liga at all as much. I follow Girona because it's a city football group club. I follow the scores and stuff, but I'm neither a supporter of Madrid or Barcelona. But I, I but I just like the kind of attitude, ethos of Messi. I could relate to him than a Ronaldo. That's all. And whenever Madrid and Barcelona played, I was like the ethos, the attitude of Barcelona, I don't know, it suited more to City than of Madrid. So that's why in Clásicos I always supported Barcelona, and that's why I'm a Messi fan to be fair. But I respect Ronaldo for his work ethic, for his attitude, and attitude in the sense ruthless attitude and all of that stuff. Tarun says, "Let's go, Messi gang." It's just the ethos. It's just the ethos. I could relate with the ethos as a person, ethos of Barcelona as a person, and to City as well. So all of that coming together. Arnab is here. He says KDB replacement. Again, lot of times this question has been asked Arnab today, but for me it's Florian Wirtz and Lucas Paqueta. Lord, both of them have their strengths and weaknesses, but like I've discussed before in detail, for me, I think it's Lucas Paqueta. I'm just in love with the attitude of the guy, and Premier League proven defensively, he can play all positions even on the right wing. So Lucas Paqueta for me. Lucas Paqueta, just an exceptional talent. I hope the cases are cleared and he actually comes this season. Sorry, good. Looking at the match, I think just a bit about the match. I think it's been a classic uh, I mean, classic match for City where the opponent is sitting back and we have to break them down. For me, one frustration about this match has been, Newcastle are defending narrow spaces for Grealish, spaces for Oscar Bob. I didn't understand why both Oscar Bob and Sergio Gomez were both coming in at certain moments of time. And when Grealish got the ball out wide, he's been dog shit, he's been bullshit, like JSK mentioned before. So I think an opponent defending narrow, an opponent looking to hit on the counter, an opponent looking to hit on the counter just with the pace of Isaac. I probably think this game is made for Jeremy Doku. If Pep doesn't make the substitution of Jeremy Doku, I actually do not think that we open the scoring. I do not think we open the scoring. And just a bit about Calvin Phillips, I do not think Calvin Phillips has impressed me at all. Calvin Phillips for me, again, for me, I do not think this is a match to judge Calvin Phillips because the opponent is sitting back. There's just that much he can do. But one or two of his switches were very good. But other than that, I do not think Calvin Phillips was impressive. We'll have to see what he does, what Pep says in the second half. But for me, two impressive performances of the match. Like Sumant mentioned before, Rico Lewis, and who's becoming a fan favorite already, did not do a single mistake. Oscar Bob has been fantastic. His The thing that impressed me about Oscar Bob in this match is his energy to go on the inside, on the outside, his vision to go on the inside, his vision to go on the outside, his work rate to get back. People think vision is just about playing that through ball or things like that. The real vision is making those runs on the inside, on the outside, dragging people with you. Oscar Bob, Oscar Bob was playing as if he's been playing at City on the right wing for the last 2 3 years. He's impressed with Oscar Bob's close control in the penalty box two or three times, his dribbling ability. Oscar Bob's quick, by the way. Oscar Bob's very quick. He's quicker than most people think. And one of the strengths of Oscar Bob is Oscar Bob can dribble at pace. He can run at pace and still dribble. That is a skill which is very rare. I think I think Tarun asked the question, why did Pep let Palmer go? I think this is another difference between an Oscar Bob and a Cole Palmer. I think with Cole Palmer dribbles from a standstill position like Jack Grealish, but Oscar Bob, he dribbles at pace like Jeremy Doku is on the run and still dribbles, which is an incredibly rare quality to find. Tarun says, do you think Bayern made a mistake not renewing Pavard? He was very aggressive, almost like Ramos, and he could play right back too. The guy is young and has incredible long shots. With Cancelo gone to, I actually think Tarun, Pavard wanted to play in the centre back position. Pavard did not want to play in the right back position. I think that was I might be wrong, but what I've read about that is Pavard wanted to play in the centre back position, and Bayern did not have any space available in the centre back position. So I think that's why he has decided to go. I think when Bayern got Kim Min Jae, I think that was the end of the time for Pavard there, unless he chose to play right back. And also, I think with Benjamin Pavard, I do not think Benjamin Pavard is as quick as people think. He's not quick. It's vulnerable to attacks on his side. When City went for Benjamin Pavard, my one concern was how can he is good one on one, but how can he give the pace of Kyle Walker? How can he get back? Those are the things with Benjamin Pavard for me. Otherwise, in an attacking sense, he has a good cross on him. He takes good shots and stuff. And with Cancelo, I think that I'm with Cancelo. I know Barcelona fans are over the moon that Cancelo is here. He's had a great performance against Antwerp, this and that. But with Celta Vigo, for example, Cancelo was at fault for many of those goals, even though he scored the winner. I do not know about yesterday's match, a day before yesterday's match with Barca drew. I just see the scores, like I said. But with Cancelo, the thing is, he's always a defensive liability. I never saw Cancelo fit a Tuchel system because one of the hallmarks of Tuchel is defensive tightness. Tuchel is based on being defensively solid and then taking it from that base. We have seen at Chelsea, we have seen a bit of that at Dortmund as well. Solid defensive base when Akanji was there and stuff. So Cancelo is a defensive liability. He never fitted at Bayern, and with Pavard as well. I think Thomas Tuchel didn't fancy Pavard. Thomas Tuchel also needed someone who had pace to get back. Thomas Tuchel didn't fancy Pavard. That was the thing. Because United were linked with him, City were linked with him, Bayern did not want to renew. I think everyone was worried about that pace of getting back, which is needed for right backs, especially in the modern game. And by the way, what do you guys think about Jan Kuto? Tarun says Nagelsmann appointed as Germany's coach. Your thoughts? It's a bit of a surprise, Tarun, to be fair, because I actually thought Nagelsmann would take over from someone like a Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid. I thought he was waiting for that job. But I actually thought Julian Nagelsmann was waiting for a big job in the club football level. I did not think he would take up that job, national team job, so early in his career. Julian Nagelsmann, I think, is one of the youngest managers. I do not think he's barely 40, 45. So I was really surprised by it that Julian Nagelsmann went for the German job. Again, with Germany, the thing is, it's such a bad move. It's such a bad move. Not for footballing sense. Julian Nagelsmann is a very good manager. People said that he could be the next best tactician after Pep Guardiola. But you know why it's a bad move? It's a bad move because German football, just like what happened to him at Bayern, German football is filled with politics. German football is filled with dressing room egos. Big egos need to be satisfied. So if it doesn't work out for you at Bayern, I do not think it works out for you in Germany. So it's interesting that why it might not work out for Nagelsmann in the German national team is because of things other than footballing reasons, but that's sadly the truth. It's sadly the truth why Sadio Mane didn't work out at Bayern, why Nagelsmann was sacked at Bayern. Lot of politics. Why Guardiola came out of Bayern? Lot of politics. JSK says Guardiola versus Kim Min Jae. Any thought? First thing, JSK Kim Min Jae is 26, I think, right? I might be wrong about his age, but I'll have to check it back. I think Kim Min Jae is older, is 26, I think, if I'm not wrong. He's around 26 at that age. And Josko Guardiola at 21. And the fact, JSK, that you're already asking me to compare a 21-year-old Guardiola to Kim Min Jae, who's 26, 27, is because defenders begin the prime of their career at 26, 27. Though that could be the fading down of the career too for strikers and stuff. So I think Guardiola at 21 already is at par with some of the best defenders there. Guardiola anytime. But in the current moment, I think it has to go for Kim Min Jae. In the current moment. And the reason I'm telling Kim Min Jae is ability wise, I think it's Josko Guardiola all the way. But defense for me is about experience as well. It's about that feeling where should I which position should I occupy suppose for example if you have a choice of you know let's take an example of Arsenal versus Tottenham, when Madison was driving through, I think Jorginho, second goal of Tottenham, when Madison was driving through, Saliba had a choice. Does he follow Madison or does he go to Hong-Min Son? He did neither. He followed Madison and Madison gave the pass to Hong-Min Son. Decisions in those kind of situations, that is what experience tells you. So I think just because of experience, I would rate Kim Min Jae ahead of Josko Guardiola, to be fair. It's just experience and nothing else for me. JSK is no 24. Okay, he's 24, but still 3 years of experience, and I think in 3 more years, Josko Guardiola will become a beast. It's just because of experience. I think maybe Kim Min Jae is ahead, but other than that, I think it's Josko Guardiola all the way. Ability, talent, his skills, everything. But for me, if you're comparing two world class defenders, I think experience is something uh, which always comes up. Tarun says, is Thomas Muller still capable of what he was doing years ago? I feel like he can still do it. It's an interesting change from Newcastle. Actually, Mille goes up and Bruno Guimaraes comes on. So their midfield is very good now. It's Sandro Tonali, it's Mille, it's Bruno Guimaraes. Look at that, Bruno Guimaraes is already. Calvin Phillips has lost the ball. Nathan Ake does well. Kovacic, City have a chance on the break. City have a chance on the break. Kovacic drives through. Jack Grealish, as usual, slowing the attack down. Jack, make a decision. He passes it back. Kovacic takes a shot from long range. How we wish Doku was there. Tarun, it's an interesting thing about Thomas Muller because there was an interview in which Thomas Muller said, I think this was years ago, I think when he was just bursting onto the scene. Someone asked him, what kind of position do you play? And Thomas Muller said, there's no position that I play. I just occupy space. I think it's called Kraken or something in German. I don't quite remember it. So I think if a player's best ability is just to occupy space, just to find space, which is a technical skill, I think you can find space even if you're 33, 34, 35. So I actually think Thomas Muller is still capable of doing what he did. Maybe his physicality of getting into the box and winning those headers and things like that. He was a very good header of the ball in his prime. It's a 3v3 for Newcastle at the back. Nathan, I think Pep needs to make that change in the midfield. Bruno Guimaraes is just dominating it. Sandro Tonali with that one. I think this midfield is just getting run over. Pep, please make a change. I think Pep needs to bring on Matthews Nunes into this midfield. And by the way, Tarun, we have got our own on our own Thomas Muller, Julian Alvarez. Akanji does extremely well to read the play over there. Akanji does. It's a foul, but the referee's thrash just didn't give that. Akanji did extremely well. What a foot in from Akanji. Newcastle are just pinching the ball away now. And that's a goal kick for City. I think after Thomas Muller has come onto the scene, I've not seen any other player who is like Thomas Muller, to be fair. No player is so unique, and I think it's after a long time that I'm seeing Julian Alvarez, and everyone thought Julian Alvarez is a striker, but River Plate fans said some of the River Plate fans, actually hardcore River Plate fans, said something interesting when Julian Alvarez signed for us. They said that people are thinking Julian Alvarez is like Sergio Aguero, but he's like a Thomas Muller. He occupies space better than what we have seen in a lot of time. Look at Oscar Bob. That is just wonderful dribbling from Oscar Bob, and what a pass to find Julian Alvarez. That back heel from Jack Grealish was dog shit again. JSK says Nunez plays for Liverpool. I think it's just a typo. JSK, just a typo. Matthews Nunez plays for us. Just a typo. I know you're kidding, of course. But Liverpool versus Tottenham, by the way, will be very exciting this weekend because Saturday night football. Because Tottenham are pressing that way, and Liverpool are, that's a foul, ref. Come on, and Liverpool are like they can just hit on the break and they can kill you. That will be interesting. Tarun, it was just a joke, Tarun. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. That's all. He was just pulling your leg. That's all. Of course, it's just a joke in a light-hearted way. Swift Racer says, "Nice stream. Thank you, mate." By the way, who do you guys think are best position to challenge us for the title? Do you think Liverpool? Do you think Arsenal? Or do you think Tottenham are in the fray? What are your views? Do you think Arsenal or Liverpool, even if you don't take Tottenham at this point, do you think Arsenal or Liverpool? What do you guys think? That's a poor thing, poor play from Mateo Kovacic there, giving the ball away. Giving the ball away. That is wonderful defending from Josko Guardiola, and Natanake is there to clear up. Fantastic defending. Kovacic giving the ball away in midfield. It almost feels like we have seen Haley's Comet twice in a twice in 2 nights. That's how it feels. Stefan Ortega to Josko Guardiola. Newcastle are just, running all over us. We are not winning a second ball. We are not doing anything. Pep! Don't know why Pep is doing this. Has Pep's fascination with Carabao Cup ended? I don't know. JSK says can't comment until Liverpool plays a difficult six in an away leg. And Newcastle score, it's 1-0. City are down 1-0 and Newcastle score. Oh my god. And Newcastle fans are jumping. Newcastle score. Uh, I don't think there's even a VAR check. Is there something that VAR can do? It's bloody Calvin Phillips. Guys, look at Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is it Callan? Yes, look at Callan Phillips. Callan Phillips is just walking in the penalty box without marking Isak at the far post. Look at what Callan Phillips is doing. Bloody frustrating. He is free there at the end of the box and is not marking Alexander Isak. Tarun says Liverpool. Spurs shouldn't be underestimated. They are playing well under Ange. I feel like Spurs will definitely end up in the top four spot. That's what even I think. That's what even I think, Tarun. That Spurs will definitely end up in the top four spot. But again, I think when the first round of fixtures are played, we'll know. But with Spurs, I think the advantage is that they do not have any European football and stuff. I do not think Newcastle, the top four or top five or whatever is guaranteed because because they are having European football cup competitions. I don't think they have the squad to go that far with Harvey Barnes also injured and stuff. That's a foul on Jack Grealish, but I just think City need to at least create one chance, one opportunity. Tarun says Pep should bring on the robot Foden and Nunez. Jeremy Doku as well. Jeremy Doku as well, Tarun. I bet if Pep brings on Jeremy Doku, Newcastle will be cut to shreds. You must remember that this Newcastle team were 1-0 up with Liverpool against Liverpool, with Liverpool down to 10 men and still they lost. So, and Alexander Isak is telling the crowd to get up as if he's playing in a Champions League final. Mate, it's just a Carabao Cup game. I just want Pep to make those subs. It's a corner for Newcastle. I think they're all over us. Tarun says, I think Pep doesn't care about the EFL Cup. He has won he has won a lot of them. Tarun, I think City has the highest number of EFL Cups along with Liverpool. So don't know that, but at least I mean whatever might happen in this match, I think Oscar Bob has got some minutes. We've seen Callan Phillips is still for that goal. I'm still angry on Callan Phillips. If you guys have seen it, Callan Phillips was free at the edge of the box and he doesn't sprint to Mark Alexander Isak at the who was free on the far post. That just annoys me so much. Anyway, I think United won the EFL Cup last season. What has changed for them? In fact, it has become worse. And I think due to the frantic nature of the schedule this season, I think we anyway have to prioritize some competitions over others. Tarun says, "Okay, bro, I'm gonna sleep. Bye, bye, Tarun, and thanks for coming onto the stream. And it was a great discussion. That's a good ball, but it's over the top of everyone. I actually think even last season going out of the EFL Cup helped us because otherwise, just imagine we would have had three more extra games in February, in January and February, which I think would not have helped. So Rodri might have been injured due to that and due to those extra fixtures and stuff. So last season it was a blessing in disguise going out of the EFL Cup, but this season I don't know what will happen. Still, there's a bit of time. It's 58 minutes, so see what happens. City with the ball. It's St James's Park, so the ball will come slower than usual. Pep is sitting there thinking, "What the hell is happening?" It's a Newcastle throw. City almost pings the ball back. I think Newcastle had to make changes. Bruno Guimaraes and a couple of other changes. I mean, if we bring on our first team, I don't think this Newcastle are even can come close to us. So fair enough. I think Pep has given good rest to important members of the first team. Diaz has got good rest. Walker has got good rest. Calvin Phillips receives the ball. Jack Grealish, Mateo Kovacic. That's not a good ball. That's a good interception there by Calvin Phillips. Jack Grealish, Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic has also not had a good game today, to be fair. Julian Alvarez does well. Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob's had a good game. Not his fault that we 1-0 down. Rico Lewis, another player with a good game. Nathan Ake, Calvin Phillips, Rico Lewis. That's a foul. Calvin Phillips should provide an option for Rico Lewis rather than, going and standing beside him. The Newcastle player is down. Isaac is down. I think it's Isaac who's down. Of course, they'll be down now, wasting time in a Carabao Cup game. Well done, mate. You're wasting time in a Carabao Cup game. Newcastle are just taking as much time as they want, to be honest. I think Pep needs to bring on Erling Haaland for the last 20-30 minutes. Look at it. Miguel Almiron is coming on as well. Newcastle are slowly bringing on the first team stars. Alexander Isak is off. He's in my fantasy team, so I actually hope that he's not injured or something. Isak is off and Almiron is on. Half an hour to go, plus a bit of added time. So literally half an hour to go. Can City get a goal back? Calvin Phillips, Manuel Akanji. That's a good drive and run into the box. City. There was a moment in the first half when City had Newcastle on the ropes. City should have capitalized then, but City didn't. And Oscar Bob does extremely well to get out from such a tight situation. It's a free kick for a foul on Sergio Gomez. So it's a free kick for a foul on Oscar Bob. To be honest, look at Oscar Bob not making a Newcastle player. Eddie Howe and Pep Guardiola are discussing something there. Julian Alvarez with the free kick, but I want Sergio Gomez to wrap it in, not Julian Alvarez. Left footer into the box. In swinger, I don't want an out swinger here. It's an out swinger from Julian Alvarez. And I think it was a chance for Manuel Akanji, to be honest. I think it was a chance for Manuel Akanji, to be honest. Yes, it was a chance for Manuel Akanji. That's not a free kick. Come on, ref. That's not a free kick to Newcastle. This ref has been a big twat. Such a. He's just been giving such one sided decisions in the second half. That's never a foul. Just throw that card and tear it up, Akanji. Let's see what the referee does. Time is just passing by. It's 65 minutes already. Oscar Bob does extremely well there to get hold of the ball. And it's a Newcastle throw in. Newcastle players are just taking advantage of every little thing and they're just falling down. And it's another yellow card. Bring Haaland on. Pep, just bring Haaland on and finish it off. That's a foul on Oscar Bob, to be honest. That's a foul on Rico Lewis, to be honest, in the first place. That's a corner for City. Well defended, well done. That's a stupid ball from Newcastle and that's gone outside. Throw in. Come on, get the throw in fast. Come on, Rico. Matthews Nunes is coming on. Jeremy Doku is coming on. This is interesting. But has Pep made it very late to get the changes? Nathanake is coming off. Matthews Nunes is coming on. I think Jack Grealish, better Jack Grealish come off. Oh, it's interesting. Kovacic is coming off as well. And Kovacic, Matthews Nunes and Nathanake is coming off. And Nathanake is Kovacic and Jeremy Doku. That's interesting. I think Nunes will replace Kovacic in the midfield. And Ake is removed, and yeah, I think he's put an attacker in place of a defender. I think City will switch to a back three, to be honest. We have 20 minutes to go. That's very well. That's excellently defended, and it's Matthias Nunes. That's a foul. Matthias Nunes almost did extremely well there. to get past two players. Josko Guardiol. Let's give it a right go. The ball's gone out for a Newcastle goal kick, I think. But let's just give it a go, guys. Let's just give it a go. If we are going out, let's just go out on a high. That's the only thing. It's a Newcastle goal kick. Newcastle's midfield has actually been very strong. Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, I think has matched it up now with Matthews Nunes. Kovacic, you can clearly see he's not 100% fit. Sergio Gomez in the midfield doesn't work today. I thought he'll put Sergio Gomez on the wing. He did all right against Red Star Belgrade. Matthias Nunes did extremely well over there. I think he should have removed Jack Grealish. Where is Jeremy Doku? Just bring Jeremy Doku into the picture. Jeremy Doku, I think, is playing on the right wing, to be honest. Tonali is just wasting time now. Free kicks and everything. But I think we've defeated them in the Premier League once, so I think Newcastle should be a bit worried this season. They lost to Liverpool. They've lost to us in the Premier League this season already. They lost to Brighton. Brighton just smashed them, I think. It's a throw in for Newcastle. Just give it a right go. Just give it a good old go. That's all I ask. Because I've seen City lift the EFL Cup so many times, and I think under Pellegrini we have lifted it. Under Pep, I think we have lifted it. I think hat trick 3 or 4 times consecutively. So I think from 2017-18 season to 2022-21-22 season, I think for 4 years we were the holders of the Carabao Cup. But for me, I just want us to give a right old go. That's all. That's a foul on Matthews Nunes. Look at how Matthews Nunes is playing in the midfield. Just give him a yellow card. I don't know why the referee is not booking Bruno Guimaraes. I don't know why Jeremy Doku has not touched the ball even once. And Jack Grealish. Phil Foden's coming on as well now. I think Pep is going for it. Jack Grealish is off. I think Jack Grealish is off, to be honest. No, it's Julian Alvarez who's off. I know he's just building up minutes for Jack Grealish. Anyway, I think he could have given minutes for Jack Grealish in the Champions League game against RB Leipzig and maybe brought on Phil Foden here along with Julian Alvarez. Don't know why he's not bringing on Erling Haaland. Surprising. Switch it to Jeremy Doku, mate. Switch it to Jeremy Doku. Again, the switches to. The ball's gone out. Such a frustrating evening for City. Such a frustrating evening for City. It's a Newcastle throw again. It's such a frustrating evening for City, to be honest. But the only thing is, it's just one goal down, so anything can happen. So absolutely anything can happen. It's just one goal down. Stefan Ortega. Good ball, Stefan Ortega, good ball. I think Stefan Ortega is second best goalkeeper in the league, but playing in terms of playing with his feet. Jack Grealish. Weak shot. Things open there for Jack Grealish. He should have done better there. Weak shot from Jack Grealish. 15 minutes to go. It's the last 15 minutes, guys. And the thing that bothers me is it doesn't bother me because of course we're not playing with a first string of attackers or even midfielders to be honest, but we haven't created a single chance in the first half. Sorry, in the second half. And to be honest, Newcastle have also just created one chance, so that's the thing. Jeremy Doku there. Jeremy Doku for the first time has got the ball. Give Jeremy Doku one chance to run at the Newcastle defense. That's the only thing I think. Matheus Nunes, the midfield's looking so much better since he's come on. It's a free kick for City. Jeremy Doku gets the ball. I would like to see an almighty dribble from Jeremy Doku going past many Newcastle players. That's a good ball into Jack Grealish. His touch is very good to be fair. Calvin Phillips. Sergio Gomez. Certain players have let us down in those quick phases of play. Sergio Gomez, Calvin Phillips. It's a one-on-one. Josko Guardiola. But the Newcastle player has missed it, so that's fine. There's still time. There's still 13 minutes to go. A City player is down, but Newcastle don't stop. Sergio Gomez is down. Maybe think Pep got his team positions. I mean, the formation wrong today. I don't know. That's a clear foul on Sergio Gomez. The referee doesn't see that. If Sergio Gomez does it on a Newcastle player, then the referee will see it. That's what Pep is telling there. The refereeing has just been atrocious. It just goes from bad to worse, to be honest. That's a good header out. I think Pep needs to throw on Erling Haaland now. Just roll the dice, Pep. Just roll the dice. Ortega is looking so comfortable on his feet. The only thing about going out of this competition is maybe Ortega will get less playing time. That's the only drawback. Jack Grealish, Manuel Akanji, Jeremy Doku. Doku does extremely well, but he loses out. Not his mistake. He had to do something, right? He had to do something, to be honest. That's gone out. 10 more minutes to go. Rico Lewis, Rico, throw the ball in fast. It's just not happening for us today. It's just not happening. Not happening for us today, guys. Jeremy Doku has now moved on to the left wing. I think this is the right position for him. Matheus Nunes is in. Ah, that was the chance. That was good defending from Newcastle, but that was a chance to be fair. That was a chance to be fair. It was a good ball in by Jeremy Doku, to be honest. That was a chance. That was a chance. Matheus Nunes. That was a high foot challenge. I think it should be a red card. It's Joe Linton, I think, is barging into Phil Foden. Let's look at the scores. A few other teams, to be honest, what's happening. Arsenal's winning at Brentford, Chelsea's winning at Brighton, Everton's winning, West Ham are winning at Lincoln, Liverpool are winning at Leicester. I mean, I think all the matches are over actually, to be fair. One chance, I think. One chance is all we ask for. One chance, that's it. Jeremy Doku there with the ball. Ah! What a ball that was from Jeremy Doku. What a piece of skill and what a ball there from Jeremy Doku. Wow. Ah, just maybe wanted a Erling Haaland there who could be that little bit more quicker onto that. That's a foul in favor of Newcastle. I think Newcastle are just trying to run the clock down now, but fair enough to them. But we'll see. Miguel Almiron is sitting there and he doesn't want to get up. It's a throw in for City. I think if we can we create one chance in this last 3.5 minutes? I expect at least 5 minutes of added time. Can we create one chance? That's the only thing trusted in knowing. Oscar Bob, Jeremy Doku, Sergio Gomez, Manuel Akanji, Vasco Guardiola. Loose touch from Phil Foden. Matthews Nunes there trying to dribble past people, but it's a one-on-one with Rico Lewis. Now I think it's Anthony Gordon. And City get the ball back. Oh, City don't. And Stefan Ortega has the ball and he's released the ball. Now I think it's now or never for City to be honest. Jeremy Doku with the ball. Sergio Gomez, Matthews Nunes, Jeremy Doku one on one. Matthews Nunes, Sergio Gomez. Nunes looks so good. Vasco Guardiola, Sergio Gomez, Calvin Phillips, Manuel Akanji, Sergio Gomez out wide to Jeremy Doku. That was another chance. We're into the last minute of normal time, and the ball is to Jeremy Doku. was so close from Rico Lewis. Just imagine if it found the back of the net. That was so close from Rico Lewis. So close. So close from Rico Lewis. I think that was the chance, to be honest. That was the chance. Sandro Tonali is off and Elliot Anderson is on. How many minutes of added time? 6 minutes of added time. So I think there could still be a chance for City. There could still be a chance for City, I think. Jack, don't foul him. And it's a throw into Newcastle. Each and every decision today has gone in the favor of Newcastle. But it's not that Newcastle have created chances. They've not created in. They just created one chance. That too, it was because of Calvin Phillips being lazy enough to go on and defend at the far post. That's why we are going out of the Carabao Cup. Stefan Ortega with the ball. I think 6 minutes of added time. One more chance. We need to try and create one more chance. Jeremy Doku in there. Jeremy Doku in there. I think the ball just got stuck under his feet. Not a single ball is falling for City, to be honest. 2.5 minutes are gone. Will VR check it? No, it's outside the box, anyways. No decisions are going in our favor, to be honest. 3.5 minutes are gone. Pep is having some fun over there. Seems as if he's had enough of winning these Carabao Cups. Fabian Schär is coming on instead of Paul Dummett as a sub. I think that should be that in this game. It's already 4 minutes of added time. Over. That Rico Lewis chance was the chance, I think. Just whistled wide. It's a Newcastle throw in. It's another Newcastle throw in. It's just been so frustrating. Just a minute remaining now. I think it's. Can we carve out one last chance with a minute to go? This would just be incredible if we can score now. It's actually less than a minute to go. 45 seconds to go. I think it should be a corner, but they'll give it to be a throw. Just put the ball into the box. Time's almost done. Just put the ball into the box. 20 more seconds to go. I think the referee will give 30 seconds more, I think, due to the substitutions and stuff. Ah, that was such a stupid ball. And I think that should be that. The referee. And then the referee will blow any time now. I think that should be that. That ball, that was the ball which you needed to give to Jeremy Doku 1v1. He could have done anything there. This blow off ref. Yeah, I think the ref will blow off now. And the ref has blown off. And City go out of the EFL Cup. City are out of the EFL Cup. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We have won enough EFL Cups and stuff like that. So I don't think the fixture schedule, people think of the quadruple and stuff, but I don't think the fixture schedule, at least this season, allows for that this season, especially after the World Cup, mid World Cup season last time. I think Pep had to prioritize and Pep had to start a weaker midfield. When was the last time you saw Pep start a weak team in the EFL Cup? So Pep had to start a weak team in the EFL Cup. So it's nothing to worry about. It's just the EFL Cup. When we won it, that's what teams were saying. Now when we go out of it, that's what they should say, and that's what we will say. Just the EFL Cup, and Pep started a very weak midfield, experimental midfield. This probably has nailed down Callum Phillips' career at City. Probably, I think he is. I don't know. I don't know to say the word, but I do not think he's yet ready to play in our team. That's the only thing. And my God, that would mean Rodri would have started even in this match. My God, no. So it is what it is. I think it could be a blessing in disguise, to be fair enough, down in January, February, when the fixture pile up just comes on and on. You have the Champions League knockout starting, it could be anything. So Erling Haaland didn't come on at all, even when City needed a goal. So that actually tells you something about Pep's mentality and stuff. I think Pep was ready to experiment with this trophy. He just didn't see probably in this trophy the gains did not outweigh the negatives or the cons. So I think Pep decided to go with a weak team. I think so. It's what it is. I think we experimented with the youngsters. Rico Lewis played well. Oscar Bob played well. I just think this was a game that demanded Jeremy Doku to start. That was the only thing. We start Jeremy Doku and we win this game, I think. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining me. Nothing to worry about. We again are back with the Wolves game in the Premier League, and then we go to Leipzig, I think, to play the Champions League, first Champions League away game of the season, and then we are at the Emirates to play Arsenal. So we have two back to back. I think it's two back to back away games. Leipzig and Arsenal. I don't know if Wolves is home or away, but anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining me and thanks for the wonderful comments and discussion.